Hello, everyone. I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I'm here to bring you a live paper crafting class. It's 11:10 a.m. Central Time as I'm coming to you live on Wednesday, December 27th. That glitch was my mistake. I pushed the wrong button, you guys. And now we know that it takes 10 minutes to start up a whole new link. So hopefully that'll never happen again. And it was already a crazy morning because my youngest son, was supposed to be awake and ready to go an hour ago. And he woke up right when I was using the bathroom. So we were competing with the bathroom. Anyways, I'm here. I'm late. I'm so sorry. I apologize profusely. But we are going to have fun because I have a technique type of class to share with you today. I have to push a couple buttons. Hang on a minute. These are things that I should have pushed before we went live, but I didn't. But we are going to do a fun technique class where I'm teaching you how to create some metallic looks, some effects, some ways to give your cards a metallic kind of sheen to them without foil paper. So, good morning, everybody. Did you find the new link? Craziness. So sorry again. Okay, so I invite you to join in the live. We are live right now, so if you're watching at 11:10 or somewhere shortly after on December 27th, 2023, you're in the live. So you'll want to log into your YouTube account or Google account or whatever so that you can comment. Or if you're watching on Facebook, thank you for finding us late. You guys had no clue what was going on. When a live doesn't work, I have to create a new link for YouTube, and Facebook, it's just casual. You guys are just there. You just have to keep refreshing your page, and I apologize for you all having to do that. I hope Lisa joined in with us. I hope Lisa knew what was going on. Trisha, did you tell her? On that note, let me invite or welcome Trisha and Lisa. They are my moderators. I have Trisha on YouTube and I have Lisa on Facebook. They're here to answer your questions. So during the live, if you have questions, and I can't see the questions as we're live because I don't catch them all. My questions are over here and I'm looking over there at the camera, so I don't catch everything. But they're there to watch to make sure that you're all taken care of. So say hello to them. Please give them a big thank you for being here. I appreciate them so much. We're going to be using a new bundle. It's called the Simply Sparkling Bundle. It's new in that it got introduced in November when some new online exclusives or products that are only shown online and not in publications were brought in. And Simply Sparkling was one of them. And I've been hanging on to a certain, I put together a fun little pop can with with the images when it first came out, and then I neglected to share it, which is my fault that I didn't, because foil paper is awesome. We had some silver foil paper that was also part of our online exclusives, but with online exclusives, when things sell out, they sell out, and we no longer have that silver foil paper. It came in a 3-pack, had some purplish tones and then this true silver tone. So we're going to create our own silver tone. And I also want to thank Kylie Bertucci. Bruno might have had a hand in it too. They're a husband-wife duo team in Australia, Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. And they posted something recently where they used enamel effects. We have pearlized enamel effects and we have metallic enamel effects. And I'm going to show you how you can use it to make your cardstock or your stamped images more metallic looking. So I have two ideas for you. I have the enamel effects, and then I also have blends markers. Simply blend, simply just the blends markers. All right. Okay, what else do I need to tell you before we get started? If you comment, you get entered into a prize drawing, and that prize drawing is live at the end of the video. And then we also do follow-up prizes for anybody who watches between the live and then the following live. So we have winners from last week's live to announce at the end as well. So comment away, even if you're not watching live. This will get broadcasted into my blog at stampyourartout.com at 12:15 p.m. today. So in about an hour, you'll be able to visit there and see the recorded version of this video, which I'll have to change because there's a whole new link now. And then you'll also be able to see a visual supply list, links to most of the supplies. Some things I'm going to show you, can't get until January 4th when we have some more new products come in. And then I'll also have measurements written down there and photos of the cards I'm sharing today. Toledo, Ohio is in the house, and Illinois. This is awesome. New Hampshire. Woohoo! We have Florida from Sun City Center. Yuma, Arizona. You guys, this is fun. I love it when you share. Keep sharing. Okay, that's it. So we're going to start demonstrating. Let me bring you over to the computer first because I want to show you a glimpse of the cards. And then I also want to share with you the measurements and supplies that are on a PDF that you can actually, let's get that off the screen here, that you can actually access in my blog post when it goes live in an hour. So there's a link in the YouTube description right now. And then when the Facebook and the YouTube lives are over, there will be a link in the Facebook description so that you can get to my blog post and you can access this PDF, which is downloadable. You'll be able to print it off from that blog post. You can see the title and the date, the measurements, the supplies, and photos are listed there on a one-page sheet. If you've been a fan of my lives or you're coming in for the first time even, start collecting these if you haven't. They're most every Wednesdays, so you can go back to further blog posts and try to accumulate these PDFs. And then you have a little reference booklet for different projects that are connected to videos, how-to videos. So Lakeland, Florida, South Texas, woohoo! This is so much fun. All right, so you can see the cards. We've also got kind of a masculine flair to them because we're going to be using some new papers. And pop in general is just something that most people like, or, sparkling water or things like that. I personally don't drink anything but maybe like a little bit of root beer once in a while. And when I open a can, I can only sip a little bit of it because bubbles don't feel good. I'm one of those sensitive stomach people. So yeah. So anyways, but I still like pop as far as imagery goes because it's so much fun. Okay, so let's move away from that. I'm going to bring you over to my desktop now. I know, sad, right? Rachel has digestive issues. We all have something. I was just blessed with that. So gluten, most dairy, I don't know, bubbly, soda. Things bug me. But I do like root beer once in a while. Okay. Let us bring in some white cardstock. This is our basic white cardstock. And because we're going to get a little reflection, I'm going to put a bit of grid paper over the top here as we work, just to kind of reduce the glare on my new glass mat studio. This is a glass mat that people will be able to get their hands on if they're not demonstrators yet, come January 4th through the end of February. It is a new product that comes in the starter kit, and it comes with a couple accessories too. One of them I'll be using. Okay, so let's stamp away. Here is the new stamp set. It debuted in November. These are the dies that match. The Simply Sparkling stamp set and the Simply Sparkling dies. You can see that there are frames that coordinate with the images. So like this here would die cut the strawberry, but you can also use these two by themselves and create a fun, oops, hang on a minute, I'm doing something off stage here that you guys can't see. There we go. But you can just die cut this separately on like a reddish paper and a greenish paper, cut the stems off, attach it to the reddish paper, and then give a little bit of cutting into the middle to give it the look of a full strawberry without the stamp images. So you can do that too. We've got some bubbles, so just some detail type stamps, some bubbles and some leaves. We've also got this one here, which is fun. We're going to use that today. It actually has 3 different parts to it. It has the top of the can, it has the tab for the can, and then it has the base of the can. So we'll be using that one for sure. We'll also be using this frame one because we're going to stamp this large image. And let's do that a couple times here. So I put it onto my E-size block. We have different size blocks, and I like to mount mine not straight. Crooked. I like to mount them crooked so that they are so I'm not relying on the actual block edges. I'm relying on the image when I stamp. Because this is a large stamp, I'm using my stamp pad upside down on top of it. And I did discover something, Lisa, and thank you for kind of questioning me last week. that I do get a better image when I do have my Stampin' Pierce mat under it, even with the new Glass Mat Studio, which we have been told, I don't know where I saw it, but I was researching the Glass Mat Studio and read somewhere that you don't need the Stampin' Pierce mat with the photopolymer stamps, but I still find that I'm getting a better image, a more even image. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. We're gonna stamp this a few times just because we may need more than one for the samples that I'm gonna share today. For your one card that you will make though, if you like any of the three that were shown in that copy of the PDF, you can definitely just stamp one because that's all that's needed for one card. So I just have this long scrap of basic white cardstock. Okay, so we now have stamped that image, and we're gonna go and grab some other images here. Let's do some trimming. I have another scrap of white here because again, I don't have everything ready like I normally do. We had some sharing of the bathrooms that had to take place. So I'm cutting a 3.5 inch tall by 4 inch wide, that works, piece of cardstock from this white scrap. And we're gonna do some other stamping with it. We're gonna do some bubbles now. So this is a fun image that comes in the set. It has like this look of liquid that's slurping and sludging and, you know, moving around and getting sloshed. And so these bubbles are popping up. It could be water. You could use it for, you know, some kind of watery or swim scrapbook page or something. But of course, in this case, we're indicating that it's soda. So I'm stamping that a couple times here, right through the middle. It's 4 inches wide and 3.5 inches tall to fit onto our 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card. Now I'm going to take and stamp a continuation here of that image. And on this side, I'm just going to use these little guys up here. I've got 3 dots and I'm just going to stamp a couple of them just to kind of finish off. We'll just stamp it right there. Just to have the image kind of fall off the edge of each side of my cardstock layer. Okay, so we've got those done. Some other images that are really cute that I used on my card are the lemon image and the cherry image. We will be using the neither one of them for our finished card, so I'm not going to add those to a finished card, but I will stamp one because I want to do some coloring for you today. We have that on one of our finished cards, but it's not the one that we're going to do all the way, okay? So we'll just do parts and pieces of 2 of them, and then we'll do another one from start to finish. I've got this image too. This is a fun one. Let me first trim off just a small, thin amount of this one, about 1/4 inch strip. Again, my apologies for not being as organized and ready as I usually am, but I do need a 1/4 inch strip for something else. So for now, let's take this piece and stamp it on the other side with our best ever stamp image, which we will also clean off because we're going to use that on our start to finish card, and we want to mask that. So now that we've stamped it fully, I'm going to clean it off with my Stampin' Scrub and my mist. Okay, so we're going to keep that one, and then we're also going to need for our finished card a straw. So let's stamp that in our Cherry Cobbler ink color, which I have here. Okay, so Cherry Cobbler is just a fun deep red color, and we'll stamp that right through there. So this scrap was used for 3 different images. We have our title, our straw, and our lemon. I'm looking over here to see if there's anything else I need to stamp for my finished card. I think that's it. So I'm going to put the stamp pads away and clean off. Actually, we'll just set that over there for now. Oops, I do have one other image I forgot to do. Sorry. Hold on. This one. I know it's all random right now, you guys, right? Do I say soda or pop? What do you guys do? Do you say soda or pop? For those of you that are in Minnesota, you know what we say. Okay, I'm going to lay this down on my my Stampin' Pierce mat separately so that I can see the dark around the white cardstock. It just made it easier for me to line up that sentiment. Okay. Alrighty. Stamping is pretty much done. Let's move this stuff aside then. I'm going to introduce to you some new papers. We have new papers that are debuting in the mini catalog that's starting in January. And I don't have all of my papers organized like I normally do, but I'm just going to kind of fan through them. This is the rock and roll paper. Some fun designs that are black and white that you can add color to, which is something that I'm going to do, or you can leave just black and white. But it goes with our rock and roll suite, and you can buy the papers separately or within the suite. We're going to use a bit of this crinkled paper and a bit of, which one? This paper here. I'm going to trim them down to 2.5 inches by 4. The 2.5 inches allows us to have a fun border at the top and the bottom of the card. And what we're going to do now is we're going to tilt this piece so that we're putting this corner and this corner on the inch marks on either side of our trimmer. So here's the 1-inch line and here's the 1-inch line. So I'm lining up this corner with that 1 inch and this corner with that 1 inch. Does that make sense here? If I bring it down here further, it'll make more sense. Okay, so here's the 1-inch line all the way through, and then here's the other one on this side. Lay it down, hold the paper still as you slice, and then you've got this fun little tilted look, which looks great when you're adding it to a sloshed liquid because it kind of gives you the feeling of motion. So that's ready. But let's go ahead and cut this one too. I think I have a 4-inch wide piece already, so 2.5 inches, because I want to demonstrate an option for you. So let's line those corners back up again, lay it down, and slice. So this will be an option for one of the cards. And I think we're going to do some die cutting now. I'm going to bring in this machine. This is something that was an add-on to a starter kit a while back, and it's our Boho Blue mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Isn't it cute? It matches. It's like a sister die cutting machine to our other one. We have a mini in white and we have a mini in Boho Blue. So I'll take our plates that came with it. I'm going to use the gray plate and a scratchy one here, and we'll just line one of these soda pop bottles. Okay, so what do we all say? Some people even say Coke. Yes, I've heard of that. So is it soda or is it pop, you guys? Some people say soda pop. I think that Coke doesn't make sense just because Coke is a brand to me. But, you know, that's the only one that doesn't make sense to me. But I'm from Minnesota, so we say pop here, typically. I'm using some sticky notes. But a lot of people might say that doesn't make sense either, because it's, what is pop? Pop is a word, is like a sound. Yeah, in Minnesota, it's a noun as well. It's not just a word for a type of sound. Okay, let's die cut this. So this set of dies can be used with the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine because they are all small enough to fit within. If you like to travel when you craft, or if you just want to give die cutting a try for the first time, investing in a smaller machine might be a fun idea. But if you get addicted, I'm just telling you, you may have to get the bigger one too. So we've got our can of pop there. And now we need to die cut these little guys. We have our lemon and we have our straw. So let's set those up with the Post-it tape. You could use sticky notes too, you guys. You don't have to use the same exact thing, just a temporary kind of adhesive type of paper, whether it's Post-it notes, Post-it tape, sticky notes that aren't the 3M brand, you know, anything that's temporary that you can peel back off works really well for this. Because sometimes you have a stamped image and you want to cut it out exactly. Ontario, Canada is in the house. Hey, Sharon. How are you? All right. So now we've got that piece done and our straw. And then this one here, we can just fussy cut. So let me set the dies out of this, off to the side here. We will need this machine again. So I'm just going to collect it and put it back here for now. So for one of my cards, I actually took and stamped and then cut around these letters. It took a while, and I actually like the result where I stamp directly onto my image instead and mask it. So that is one thing I did, just so you know. For one of my other cards, I took and sliced between these little words here, and I cut off the word soda because I love what Kylie did on her card. I did it on one of mine as well, where I added some extra dies in. So you're lightful, and I added in some letters. Those letters came from another set of dies, which will be new. These are the mini alphabet dies. And what I love about them is you can take and just put your piece of cardstock over the top of one little section if you want to, or you can put a whole piece of cardstock over the whole thing and die cut the letters all at once. And you end up with individualized letters that you can pop onto stuff. And when I had made my purple can, after I got the bundle, I changed it up because I saw Kylie's idea. I have a link to Kylie's cards in the description of my YouTube video. All right, but we're not going to worry about the letters right now, and maybe we won't even have time for them. But I just wanted to show you how I did those extra little words. But on this can, we're going to do some masking. So we're going to take and bring in our Stampin' Pierce mat again. And we're going to mask our letters here, our words, with some tape. Here it is. So for the top part of my card, I'm going to come in with some tape on right below the word best. And I think I need about 3 different pieces here. I don't want to cover up my word best. I want to leave that exposed. But the rest of that stamp image is covered up, or at least the part that I would put into the ink pad. Now let's grab our tuxedo black ink again, and we're going to ink up the word best. And when we're inking that up, see what's happening there on the tape? We're just going to peel that tape up and away. And now the only part of that stamp that is inked is the word best. So we can take and exhale to make sure it's moist again and stamp it down onto our pop can. And I think on 2 of mine, I had the B, the line in the B straight up and down, parallel with the sides of the can. You can do it however you want. It's not a straight word anyways. So, but now we have to clean it off again. You could use the chamois that comes in the kit to clean it off if you want to. Just go like this. You make sure that's wet first. And we clean off our stamp, and then we want to stamp it onto our scrap paper to make sure it's clean. Yep, all clean and ready to go. So the glass mat comes with the chamois. And it's a really nice chamois too, by the way, because it doesn't take that long to get moist, to get wet. Okay, now we're going to grab our tape and we're going to cover up. This is the one where I think I have to have 3 pieces. We're covering up everything. Oops, make sure we get it all. Everything above the word ever. Do I have it? Yes. And then we'll go around the word ever. Oh, maybe I just needed 2 pieces. Okay, well anyways, there we go. We've got it covered up, and we'll ink up the word ever. We'll peel away the tape. Yep, we're good to go. Exhale and stamp it down here. So why am I separating those words? If you remember from the PDF that I shared with you, that way we can fit something else in between, like the word pop, which also stands for dad, right? So you could put best pop ever and give this card to your dad or to a grandpa. I think it could also mean grandpa. Or maybe you have someone in your family who's nicknamed Soda, you know? So you could give them best soda ever. All right, we have that done. Let's bring in our card base and let's just do some fun partial assembly right now. I'm gonna grab my bone folder and give that a good crease. Looking at the bottom of my card, I can see both sides of my cardstock, or both sides of the card. So I'm gonna flip it over because now I just see one layer. We're going to add this through the middle with some seal adhesive or whatever adhesive that you prefer. And we're going to put that exactly in the middle, or as close as possible in the middle of our card, so that we have about the same amount of black on the top and bottom and about the same amount of black on the sides. Then we'll grab these pieces, and I'm not going to stick these down because this isn't going to go on this card. But this is where I would lay them. If I was using them on my card, I would take advantage of the fact that there's lots of white space on here, and I'd bring in some fun markers, and these aren't the ones I want. Nope, these are the ones I want. Okay, this is Parakeet Party. So we're going to use the light one first because I like to work light to dark to light. So I'm going to color just a couple little rows of that on each of the curved edges. This is the beauty of black and white paper. You can add color in the white spaces. Now we're going to take the dark one, and you can see there's a difference between the two. So I've got the dark one coming in here, just part way up. Same thing with this one. And then I'll grab my light again and color in the light to combine the two colors together. So I'm swirling around the dark and the light connected lines so that I bring a smooth transition from the light and dark. You can't really tell on the paper because there's a lot of black on there, but that's how I did that for one of my cards, is I just did the markers simply like that to get that look. On another card, I took the paper and I colored it completely with the green. And why did I choose green? Because I had some fruit images in there. So for the fruit image, same thing, where you work light. Let's zoom in on this because this is really, really far away, you guys. Where we work light to dark to light. So color it in. And I like to use the brush tip a lot, but there is another tip on the markers. These are alcohol-based markers. So there's a smooth transition between shades when you start coloring. Now you won't see it right away, and I'm going to hold this up so you can see the difference again. But as it sits there, it tends to blend into itself. And see, it's already blending into itself. But we're going to help the transition a little bit more by coming back to the light and just kind of swirling right between the two colors to let them blend better. That's how I would do the green on that. For the yellow, for the lemon, I would do, again, light to dark to light. And I'm teaching this to you now because we're going to move into coloring the pop can to make it look metallic. Now, do you see what I'm doing with the lemon? I've got a little white space on my lemon because my lemon is shiny, but it's not, you know, like perfectly smooth. Sometimes lemons have a bumpy surface, right? So you don't have to have a perfectly straight line through there. It can be a bumpy, shiny line, and that'll blend in. Now I'm going to come in with the dark, and I'm going to go along the shadowy edge, which is down here where the dots are. Stampin' Up! Helps us out by putting shaded areas within the image so that we know where our shading should go when we color. And now let's transition these two together. So here you can see a distinct difference between the dark and light. But now I'm going to swirl these colors together. And you'll be able to see a better blend. Stampin' Blends. They're awesome, you guys. Look at that dark to light look. Super smooth, super easy. So that's how I would do the lemon for one of my cards. And then let's grab this can and let's use some cola, Coke, soda, or pop color. This is our pecan pie or pecan pie, however you say pecans, pecan pie. We're going to start with the light again, and we're going to go along this edge. And I'm being really careful as I color because I want to use a very straight shine for my highlight, because now we're working with metal. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to do just a nice straight edge there. And then I'm going to go beyond that, about 1/8 of an inch, maybe even 1/4 of an inch. Ooh, we got close there. Okay. It's not a perfectly straight can. It got dented. Then we'll go on this side and we'll color. The straighter you can get that white space, the more it looks like shiny aluminum, you guys. So we're just coloring the rest of this in. This is a perfect color for soda, pop, cola, Coke, bubbly liquid. All right, we've done the light, and now we come back with the dark. Do you also see that I'm coloring in the same movement as my shine? So I've got my my shine going this way, and I'm also adding my lines of color in that same vertical direction. Just adding a touch of dark pecan pie here, and then on this side we'll add a lot more, because the shine is on the left side of the can, so it's okay if we have this side much darker. Okay, so again, you can see the transition of color. Let's take our blends markers now and let's go over some of this. And right now it looks very similar to the color that we initially started with, but I'm going to go over the dark areas and add even more color. So sometimes going light over dark just adds one more layer. All right, it's looking good, you guys. Next, we're going to grab our smoky slate. So we have smoky slate and we have black, and sometimes I get them mixed up. So I need to look on the side where my colors are labeled. Dark smoky slate, light smoky slate. Here we go. So for this can, I'm now going to color my light through here, and we are going to leave some white about the same width. So it's about 1/8 of an inch. Do you see what I'm doing here, you guys? There's about 1/8 of an inch of white still exposed. That gives you the look of metallic sheen as well. And then on the tab, because it's got another surface to it that's different, kind of a bumpy surface, I'm not going to color the whole tab either. I'm just going to colored parts of it. Okay, so I'm leaving parts of it white. The white, again, gives you the illusion that it's metal. Oh, we have the bottom part. So this is one way of giving something a metallic look with blends markers. I love it. Just leaving a real stark white line. Okay, and then I would come in with, oh, and we got the top here. We got the top here too. We're going to leave that all light, the light gray color, and we'll just color this one in gray too. Okay, then we've got our dark, and that's where we'll do this side, and we'll do this edge over here with the dark, and we'll do this edge. And then we'll use our light one more time to blend. Blend those colors together. Okay. It's looking very aluminum-ish. Aluminum-ish. All right, so there's our can, almost done. The last thing that I want to do is add a little bit more black, and I have some black blends markers too. There's light and dark of that. Didn't know there was a light and dark black, did you guys? You can use either one. The light one will give you a little bit more, like the ability to see. It looks more like a dark, dark gray. We'll just say that. But I want to color in that entire area in the dark black. There. And on some of my cans, as you'll notice in the photos, I actually colored that tab too that pokes in, because when I open a pop can, it goes all the way in. It doesn't just stop part way. So mine disappears. So that little extra part here that you're breaking into is all the way back into the can. So there's that. Now let's say we were, let's go back now to, here it is. Cardstock. Cardstock in grays. We have smoky slate, which is our light color, and we have basic gray. And I'm going to zoom back out, and we are going to do a little bit of die cutting. Like I told you, I said we are going to come back to that, right? Hang on. Do you see this mess over here, guys? If you have one of those messes like that, just take and put even more tape over the top, and then it won't affect anything. This piece, remember that? We're going to bring that back in, and we're going to cut either one of these colors. It would work. In fact, you could do, you know, like a color, like you could do pink or purple or whatever. And we're going to sandwich that together and cut that. Oops. And I've got a slippery surface here. There we go. The grid paper was moving on me. So now we've cut this piece out, and it comes, again, like I told you, 3 different parts. So we've got the tab to our can, we've got the top of our can, and we've got the bottom of our can. Let's just poke that piece out. Let's move these off to the side. And now I'm going to show you another way to achieve a metallic look, whether it's with the basic gray paper or smoky slate or whatever it is that you choose. So instead of using blends markers, we're going to use what's called enamel effects. We have them in the pearlized, and we have them in metallic. I found that these 3 colors worked the best. We have silver, black, and white. The silver comes from the metallic, the black and the white come from the pearlized combo. And in those combos, you actually get 3 colors. So these are the colors that you get in the pearlized. Black, believe it or not, is like a dark gray. Then we have the white. This is what it looks like on dark paper, on light paper, and then we have a red. And in the other pack, we have more metallics. So if you wanted to, say, do wild wheat or Cajun Craze or whatever. Yeah, I think it's, no, trying to think of the name of the paper. Anyways, we have a paper that looks like a coppery color, or pecan pie or whatever. But if you want to do those, you can make metallic looking cardstock with those too. So this is the silver, the gold, and the copper on both black and white cardstock. So how do we do that? You paint it on. It's so cool. This is what I learned from Kylie and Bruno. So you're taking and putting a little bit of color down, and you could put it onto, in fact, we could put it right directly onto our glass mat. Let's do that, because then we can wipe it up. Let's do that. That's what the glass mat is for, Rachel. That's why we have the glass mat. Let's put that off to the side. Okay, we're going to just put it right down. We have our white, and we have our black, which is like a dark gray, and then we have our silver. So as you guessed, the metallic has more of a metallic sheen to it, and the pearlized looks more pearlish. But when you paint them on, and you can paint them on with anything like a paintbrush, or even we have like these water painters, which I just keep my water in there. But you don't need to have, it doesn't have to be watery. It can be a little damp if you want it to be, but it doesn't have to be. But you can take and add, like the silver looks great on the smoky slate, and you literally just paint it on to the surface, and you get a metallic looking cardstock. We also have this holographic cardstock that has some silverish tones to it in a couple of the sheets, but it's not like the regular silver foil. So you could use that if you wanted to get a metallic look for your pop cans. But there it is on there. You could even use the white on there, and the white just again takes on the color underneath and blends in, but you just get a slightly lighter look there, if you can see the difference between the two. But you still see the gray when it's tipped out of the light. So there you go. There's an idea. Let's just do this color on the black. Just a little bit on the black here. So you would paint those pieces off the card before you add them. So the black color looks awesome on the smoky slate, but you could also add in the silver metallic color. Like the white, it will lighten it up just a little bit when you angle it, but when you tip it in the other direction, it kind of brings back that darker gray look. Okay? All right, so there's that. Let's wipe that off. And then we'll set it aside to clean later, because Rachel really should have cleaned it now, but that's okay. And we'll just wipe this off. Actually, I'm going to wipe it off first with a tissue, because my chamois is not that wet anymore. It dried. It dried when we were having technical issues, you guys. All right, so there's my nice clean surface again. So that's how I would do those pieces if you were going to do metallic effects or pearlized effects on your card. Putting this card together, we're just going to use our seal adhesive again. For the wrinkled paper look, I didn't do any coloring directly onto the designer paper. We're just going to add this like this at the top. I'm looking at the edges, making sure I have 1/8 of an inch all the way around, but then I want to look to see how it's blending into the white. Oh, you know what? I bet my white's a little bit smaller than it should have been, because I didn't cut beforehand, you guys. Tisk tisk. Here, let's do this. Let's pull it off. Bring in our little mini trimmer that was also a joining offer at one point a while back. And I'm going to bring it down here. Yeah, we'll just hold it like this. It's got stickies on it, so I don't really want it to stick down too far. Hold that there. And chop. Did you guys get one of these mini trimmers? They're so cute. All right, now we're gonna add it. I bet I cut it off too much. Okay, well, we're not going to have a perfect card. That's because we started late and had technical issues. This one's a little bit too big too. Let's just try this instead. We're gonna eyeball it, Rachel. We'll reassemble this card later. here's our pop can. I would put this on with dimensionals. Here are the dimensionals. We can add that right now, actually. Oh, I was going to mention too, before our live ends, because I'm pressured to get this done in about 5 minutes here, you guys. I was going to paint directly onto the colored area too, which you can do. So did you know that we can come back with the pearlized or metallic enamel effects, and you can paint directly onto where you have stamped and colored already, and it will give you a shine. And I'll show you that on the finished card. You can see that up close. We've got our straw somewhere. Yep, Rachel's losing things today. Oh, is it in here? No, it's not. Okay, well, it's gone. Our straw is gone. We're going to put that on our card. All right, what else can we add to the card? We can add those letters. So pretend I've added those letters. You can also put the metallic or pearlized enamel effects on the letters to give them a shine. And then the last thing I want to introduce to you is the embellishments. So we have these really cool embellishments. These are our iridescent, because you can see kind of a pinkish, greenish, purplish look to them when they're tilted. These are our iridescent foil gems. And I added them because it looks like there's like a little bit of soda color in them, kind of like goldish looking flecks and stuff. And I just added a few of those, bubbling with the liquid image, like that, in and around the soda can. And I came up with this card, which looks a lot better than the one that I was trying to make for you. So on this card, you can see my white line is not as straight, but I was sure having fun with this because I added the straw. I just kind of cut it along the edge so that it looked like it was going into the can when I added it. And if I could find my other straw, I could demonstrate that. It's gone. The other thing that I did is I added 2 layers of letters here. So I added POP with both the cherry cobbler and the black cardstock look. And that's what the finished card looks like after you add the metallic enamel effects and the words and the straw. The other card that I did that I was trying to explain parts and pieces of is this one here. And this one you can see where I added those papers on the top and the bottom. I added the lemons. I added 2 of them. One of them is flat on the card and the other one is tilted and lying down in front of the soda. All the soda cans are up on dimensionals, and this lemon is up on a dimensional so that it can separate from the soda can up here. This one I did put soda in there because remember we cut out the words, "You're lightful," and I replaced the word soda with the letters. This is when we had the metallic paper though, so you can see it's very shiny, it's very reflective because it's the actual foil paper. The third card that I have done for you is this one, which is where I actually took the cardstock instead of the colored image part of the can, and I colored that completely with the metallic enamel effects to get that silvery shine that's not as reflective, but it still gives you that silver shine onto the elements of the pop can. And I even put it on the letters here. This is colored with the cherry cobbler blends markers, which is what I also used on the cherries, along with the parakeet party for the leaf. And I colored the whole entire surface of that designer paper with the parakeet party color. So that's the difference between all 3 of those cards. I did have a 4th can that was in the works, and this is where I told you I cut out my letters, best and ever, but I didn't feel like it gave the can as much of a finished look as I wanted. And this is using the darker cardstock. This is using the basic gray cardstock. I also, if you can see real closely here, I also used the basic black dark and the basic black light on the inside of the whole of the can. So you can see just a partial piece of metal going into the can because I used the light on it. Does that make sense? So I hope you got some good ideas. This is a curvy line. My pop can was way out of whack. That was the first one I actually made. But yeah, you want to have a straight line to show the shine. Here's that finished card instead. We've got that set out. Oh my gosh, there was so much to cover today. So wasting the 10 minutes in the beginning and then having to explain that. I'm so sorry, you guys, that we had some technical issues at the beginning. But yeah, I introduced some new products to you that will be debuting on January 4th. And you got introduced to the Simply Sparkling Bundle. Those products are listed in the description of the video, also in the blog post. So if you want to shop from those items, you'll be able to use those links to the products to shop. The things that are not linked are going to be the items that are new, like the designer paper, the rock and roll designer paper that we colored, like these iridescent foil gems. Those are debuting again January 4th. Also, the letters. So pop, soda, pop, those are all debuting January 4th. The rest of the items you should be able to get now. Again, the foil is gone though. Hopefully they'll bring it back in another product soon because we really do love silver foil. But these are just other ways to get that. Prize time! Yay! Last week we had some winners that were drawn live, and they got a selection of 48 6x6 sheets of retired designer paper. So within this packet of designer paper, I threw in a foil sheet, or I threw in a shimmery sheet or something. So you're going to get some specialty paper in there too if your name is drawn and is one of the winners from last week's live. Let's go over to my computer and let's take a look at the winners from last week's live. And if your name is showing as one of those winners, then you'll want to reach out to me at stampyourartout@comcast.net to claim your 48 sheets of designer paper. Now, if you live outside the US, I can't send product to you, but we do have tutorials that can get emailed, and those are valued at $15 or more. So you can pick from all of my tutorials that I've been doing over the past 10 years. I've got a lot. Sheila Brady 3725 is the winner from our YouTube After Live comments. And from Facebook, we have Carol Lindy. So Carol Lindy on the Facebook commenters. You two are the winners for that pack of variety pack of designer paper. And now let's go to the comments that Trisha's going to be pulling up, and I just have my computer open so I can see it. I'm going to set up the prize over here so you can see it. All right, the prize winners from this week's live. Okay, let me bring you to my computer. So we have holographic paper that I mentioned before. It has a silvery tone to it, but it also has kind of a textury look to it. This one here is more holographic but smooth, but still silverish. And then we have this purple pinkish looking paper that is part of that pack. So you get one of each of these designs, and then you get one of each of my two remaining sheets from the silver metallic paper that has now been retired. So 6x6 of all 5 of those sheets, and you get a multi-purpose liquid glue, which I didn't use on my project today. I thought I was going to, and I never pulled it out because we were just going way too fast. But those are the prize choices, or prizes, I should say, for today's winners. And I'm just going to take a peek here to see if Trisha has drawn our winners. Not quite yet. Looks like she's coming up with them, and hopefully I'll be able to catch the comment and announce those names. Next week, we are going to be live again on January 3rd, 2024, you guys. 2024. It's already 2024 coming up. Can you believe it? It looks like some of you are saying congratulations, so she must have drawn the winners. I am not seeing those names. So Trisha, call them out one more time if I missed them. Sorry about that. Yeah, so next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Time. And I'm trying to remember what I'm sharing with you. It's fun. That's all I know. So I hope you can join me. I've also got some pre-recorded videos coming up because there's so many things that I want to show you from start to finish, and it's hard to show you just in photos and directions that are written. So you'll be seeing some pre-recorded videos coming up in early January. Still not seeing those names, Trisha. That is so weird. Um, Maybe, oh, you know what? It's because I'm on the wrong. I still have the one open. I still have the tab open from the video that we didn't have. That didn't work. There she goes. She's posting it like a million times. She's like, Rachel, here they are. The names are Roxanne Emerson and Lee. Lee has shown up again. And I think Lee is a winner that we have not been able to reach in the past. So hopefully that person is here now. I'm going to quickly pull up my winners list. Oh no, Lee claimed their product before. Lee won again. That's so awesome. So Gina York, Myers Crew ×5, Diane Lewis, and Pam Simmons. You are past prize winners that haven't claimed your prize. You get a month and then it's gone. So please reach out to me. And Happy New Year. Yes. Way to chime out. The holiday is coming up here, you guys. We've got a new year coming up. Woohoo! I love it. And congratulations to our prize winners. Yes, thank you so much for everybody who's chiming in to say congrats to our prize winners. It is 12:06 on my clock. That means I have 9 minutes to put the new link in my blog post. It might be a little late. I might have to delay it, you guys. And on that note, my demonstrators who are in my group, I will not be on time at 12:15 because of these mistakes that I had. So let's make the live happen at 12:30. Hopefully those of you that are watching will know, and maybe one of you can post in our demonstrator group that I'll be live in our demonstrator group at 12:30 instead of 12:15. That would really help me out. I think that's it. New products coming January 4th. That means new product or some products are leaving. So check those out in the online store. Class to go. One more announcement. I want to chime in to tell you that our Canadian product-based class still has openings. So there is a link to getting a hold of Alana's class to go for the Delicate Forest. And the US version has sold out, but the Canadian version, we still have some spots. So please reach out to Alana if you would like to take part in our class to go that her and I have teamed up to do. It's so fun. It's so fun. And you'll get new products, new wonderful ideas. It's an amazing class. I encourage you, if you live in Canada, to reach out to her and sign up for her class. It's a class that we're doing together. So if you like my class ideas, you're gonna love the one that we're doing together because it's the same. It's the same exact class. All right, Happy New Year. Enjoy the chiming in 2024. We will see you next week at 11 a.m. Central Time on January 3rd. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much, Trisha and Lisa, for helping us out. And now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye, everyone.